Welcome, Pathfinders, to episode 6. Episode.
Episode.
Try again.
Now the Germans are like applesauce.
Applesauce. Well, let's subscribe to the Applesauce podcast.
Oh, applesauce actually sounds really good.
Applesauce is amazing.
Welcome, Pathfinders, to episode 6 of the Find the Path podcast. I am once again your Game Master, Rick Sandidge. I am joined with my assorted players. I think we stopped doing the introduction thing because I think most of you guys know who you are.
But you get an introduction.
But I get an introduction every time because it's kind of how I start things. And we're going to be continuing on with the Mummy's Mask adventure path. When last we left our heroes, they had retreated with their tails between their legs. Was that the...
Hey.
It was a
tail
strategic...
between legs.
I mean, my tail may have
break.
been between my legs, but that's just totally
It's not our
coincidental.
fault you're a cat.
We were out of healing,
We took a
and
respectable
Sudi had
break.
almost died in a sarcophagus.
Respectable break.
I guess on the
Yes.
plus side, he's already mostly buried at that point.
I mean, I don't
Is
think
that
I would
the
have
plus
left
side?
him there.
I'm just saying. So no, yes, our party had retreated back from the Tomb of Akhentepi, returning back to the town to sell off all of their legally gotten loot.
Yep.
Buy some new gear, which I think mostly came in the form of a little bit of healing for the party.
I think we picked up a wand, yes?
No.
We made
And-
a good deal and got a fancy
Oh, no, we bought
potion.
potions, that's right.
And spent the evening at the Tooth and Hookah, enjoying the fine, friendly comradeship of some of the other, well, honestly, competition, but you're going to all different tombs, so it's not really competition.
I was going to say, because there's
So
no real
apparently
competition.
other people are getting jumped.
Yeah, although some other people have apparently been jumped.
Yes, we will keep an eye out.
Yes.
And we
Keep
made friends with Marin the halfling and his dogs.
Yep.
And-
Sadly,
I'm still
it was-
not okay with this.
A smaller number of dogs than
He
he
will have
previously
more
had.
dogs soon.
And then what? Falto was the weirdo
Yes.
that was hitting on you.
Falto.
Sitra.
Yep.
And we may have fed him a few white lies.
Yeah.
A few. But
We're doing psyops here at the Pathfinder table.
and so the party had then decided that they were going to gather together the next day, and we will start things off there. Get a little music going.
So we heal up
Yeah.
equal to our level and all that.
Equal to your level.
And we did level up. We are level 2 now. Maybe we will not be as squishy.
That'd be
Slightly
One
less.
could hope.
I mean, I did get
a man
a couple
can
more hit
dream.
points.
A couple more is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, and make sure all of those of you who are staying at the Tooth and Hookah also pay your price for your room and board.
Which is...
It's a gold piece per person.
That's expensive.
Well,
I mean,
that's
we
both
did-
room and food.
I was
So
going to say, also, we did just make, anywhere from 800 to 1,200 gold per person. So we
I'm
did
rich.
pretty good for what amounted to, an hour and a half's worth of...
just
of
marching
work.
there. It's like, give me your best flea-ridden mat, because you guys still haven't sprung for the nice rooms.
Yep.
No, we
Sudi's
had
still-
to rent the suite, remember? Because that's all they had left.
No, they said other rooms because
No,
you
there
guys
was
didn't
a-
rent
there was
the.
other rooms.
You didn't rent the suite because Sudi had to sleep over the kennels.
Oh, that's right.
So he basically sleeps the whole night with dogs barking up at him from
It's
outside
not
of the window.
okay.
There's
not
less
a-
dogs barking.
There are sadly fewer dogs barking now.
It's so
Oh.
sad. But we did help get him out by finding him a trainer or a breeder of dogs so he can get some new dogs.
That is
I
true.
don't remember buying anything.
I think you might have just been holding on to your money.
Yeah,
I
I was
only
like,
have 325 written down, though.
We didn't get that much.
I didn't think we got that much.
oh,
I
did we
thought,
not? I don't know. I've got so many numbers written down. I don't know.
I thought that
No.
was a different game.
Oh, no. That's because we didn't end up selling the Scarab Shield.
Yeah, because I would have
Yeah.
had to been so far in debt to keep it. So we're
Yeah,
selling
yeah,
it with
yeah.
the next batch of
Okay,
loot.
yeah, it just kind of hurt a lot of people. So yeah, we're not nearly as rich. I apologize, audience, for my poor bookkeeping.
He's bad at math. That's not
Kill
true.
him!
I
All right,
definitely don't
so
know.
Akhentepi's working on it.
Yes, bury him in the crypt. It's already
But
trapped.
I'm so cute. I'm the cutest member of the party, easily.
what's your charisma?
A 10.
That is a lie.
I
Cuter
get
than
catfolk
you.
bonuses.
What
I'm
is it?
adorable.
What is
There's a scruffy,
everybody's charisma?
gangly
Oh, 12.
looking cat.
12.
I have a 16.
Okay, so
He's the cutest.
he's the cutest one because he's very kawaii over here with his gold skin.
Yeah.
And then she and I are just kind of like, we're
Onuris, played by Rami Malek.
cute. Yes, that is what we have decided.
Apparently, yeah. I guess I can literally be cast by anybody because I'm probably CG.
You
or
are
somebody
Andy Serkis.
Yeah,
Okay, thanks for stealing my joke. I was going to say, so I might as well just be Andy Serkis.
Yes, that's amazing.
So
Although-
Rami Malek, if you're hearing this, you are now on Onuris. And
Yes.
Andy Serkis, if you are listening to this,
You get to be
you
a
are
catfolk.
And Andy Serkis, if you're listening to this, man, we made it. Like, think we've really made it if Andy
Right.
Serkis is
Oh
listening
my
to us.
gosh, right?
Looks
They
like
need
we
to
made
create a
it.
new Oscar category just for him.
Yes, the Circus Awards.
There you go.
Oh.
All right.
All right, so the following morning, everyone sans Sagira would wake up in the Tooth and Hookah, gather themselves together, and pack up your gear and get ready to go and march out. You could all have your breakfast there, as that's also included as part of, you get your continental English breakfast as part of your.
At an Osirian inn.
I like that it's been bought off by like the Hilton, and so now it's got the Hilton logo on it and like the continental breakfast, and everybody's just looking around like, the heck is this? Except for the foreigners that are chowing down.
Yeah, they've got one of those presses that makes waffles, but in the shape of Osirian.
It makes it in the symbol of the ruby prints on the coins.
Yeah.
A
See
little
that-
Texas humor there for you.
Little
Yeah.
Texas humor.
We do like our waffles in the shape of.
I don't think
our
I have
state.
ever had a waffle in the shape of
I have a
Texas.
So,
waffle maker
in-
in the shape of Texas. I'll
In
make you
case,
one.
for our listeners who are not from Texas, if you stay at hotels in Texas, they have Texas-shaped waffle makers. And it only works in states like Texas, because if you go to Colorado, it's a friggin' square.
You can also buy Death Star waffle makers.
See, that's
which are
cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, that
Yes, but
seems
that's
like
all
I
a.
wonder
over.
if there's a D20 waffle maker.
Yes,
I think there is.
There's
Yeah,
gotta
this is
be.
a D20 waffle maker.
It doesn't work
It is
super
a
well
nice
for
shape.
waffles.
It would probably work pretty well for Montana. Not as much for like Colorado.
Montana? Montana's really just rectangular.
It's got a squiggly bit.
It's got like a
Good.
face coming off
I
of
feel
the side
like
of it.
Louisiana could do it.
Louisiana could do it.
Florida.
Florida.
California.
Like the weird
Ooh,
shape.
Michigan with the little mittens.
Anyway, so you guys would wake up, make your way downstairs, eat your continental breakfast, get your big thing of orange juice, and I suppose make your way out.
Yes, we were supposed
Falto
to.
would be happy to sit with all of you and carry on conversations about his expectations for the day and how great things are going to go and how his party is definitely not going to stab him in the back.
Have I seen the cleric? Does she actually have a holy symbol of Serenray?
She actually does have a holy symbol of Serenray.
Okay, so
Do we
maybe
see a second holy symbol of like Urgathoa or something like right underneath it? Like is she packing two holy symbols?
No, she appears to. You're going to guess she's probably Kadiran, although that might quite possibly could be she's a native Osiriani of Kadiran descent.
Yeah, that's
considering how
pretty
long
common.
that Kadira occupied this nation, it's pretty common.
All right, well,
Regardless, though, you would all pack up. Marin has also recruited a couple of new dogs, and he seems to be pretty eager to go out there.
Please tell me he's going out with somebody besides just the dogs because those
He has
are not.
he has
Yeah.
his family with him. Remember?
Yeah,
that's right.
there are other halflings,
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
but the halfling optimism kicks in. He's like, this time, all these dogs are going to make it.
Oh, God, buddy.
Oh, he's taking untrained dogs in there with him.
They're
Oh.
trained.
Well, no, they're all trained like guard dogs. It's just...
Oh, I thought like he went like to the breeder and was like, "Hey, I need some new dogs." He's got
Give me
like
some
little
puppies,
puppies.
please.
He's got some little puppies. He's like, "All right, guys, combat." It'd be the worst thing ever.
Trial by fire.
I
But you would
be
all
very
make your way
upset.
off.
We're supposed to meet Sagira just outside the necropolis, I
Yes.
believe.
So we make our way over there.
Yeah, and Sagira, you would wake up in the morning on your, I believe you sleep on a couch in the front
do.
office of the Temple of Bestet.
My couch.
It's got a little indentation in the shape of your body.
Probably.
A lot of people's bodies.
Rima, the old woman who lives at the temple and takes care of most of the girls here, would have woken you up to the smell of fresh baked pancakes, which apparently is an Osirian thing, although it is nothing like our pancakes, but I'm going to guess that they're good.
It's the sprinkling of sand that gets in everything that
Yeah.
makes them Osirian.
All right,
just
Anakin,
sand cakes.
shush.
Sagira is definitely going to go have some pancakes.
You've been demoted from Andy Serkis to Hayden Christensen.
No,
In less than 5 minutes. Good
oh
job, Jordan.
no, guys!
But from my point of view, the mummies are bad.
I thought that was everybody's view. No, I am the
trying.
villain in the story.
Not the mummies. I mean, I assume the mummies are the heroes in their own story. They're just killing people, breaking into their tomb. So, I mean, what do you want?
I guess.
But Kepri and the other girls would sit down with you for breakfast and happily hear all of your stories about, the dramatic battles and nearly drowning and...
I don't really tell them about nearly drowning.
Oh, okay. You let Sudi be a hero in your stories?
No, is his girlfriend there?
Yes.
Then yeah, sure.
Sudi has a girlfriend?
Kinda.
Oh yes, yes he does.
Girlfriend with air quotes.
I mean,
Oh no,
I don't know.
not
I
air
don't.
quotes.
I don't interfere in their personal business. Sagira likes to keep things cool.
There's a reason he carries so much rope. Anyway. 50 Shades of Black Catfolk.
Apparently, Kontar it translates to gray.
So there you go.
Unfortunately, it's not the silk rope, so it chafes like crazy.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go. I could only
information
inform
at that
hemp
point.
ropes.
Goodness.
Sorry, guys.
The rope's used on him. Are there any pancakes left at the end?
You know what? Here. This is Pathfinder. Let's do some fun. There are 2 pancakes remaining.
I will take them and thank Rema for her delicious pancakes.
Yeah, she would just kind of smile. She's kind of going cataracts at this point, so just kind of smile and pat you, warmly on the cheek. Wish you all the best. All the ladies would give you the blessings of best before you make your way out.
Wonderful. I will bring my pancakes.
Are we going with best or bestet?
Bastet.
Bestet. But so the blessings of bestet before you make your way out. I suppose kissing the goddess statue. I mean, it's just a onyx statuette of a cat with gold eyeliner.
Kissing, or is it like you pat it on the head, give it scritches?
Belly rub.
It's bestet. I imagine a nice kiss on the forehead for luck.
Then yes, this is fine.
It is the statuette that led you to the temple, so it's just right there on the inside of the door.
It's wonderful.
So you would make your way through the city streets, all of you arriving at the gates of the necropolis approximately at the same time. Some of the other adventuring groups had gone out before dawn and had been waiting at the gates to make their way off. Again, it's not really a race, but some people still seem to think that there's a very competitive air to this. Now all of you are probably somewhat more suspicious of, they're marching off and making traps.
Cat lady here.
The Scorched Hand would have set off early in the morning. They're actually number 4. You guys have had the opportunity of speaking with Belriana Hypaxis, who is the group's leader, and you believe some sort of spellcaster, a wizard,
Yes.
most likely.
And to look out for a sign, an eye.
Yeah, they're looking for some holy sites in Nethys.
Yeah.
Something called the Erudite Eye.
Yes.
Good for you. There is also an additional, you're going to guess, soldier with them, a half-elven woman that does not appear to be local, as well as 2 locals. They seem to be native Osirianis. One of them is obviously a cleric of Nethys. The other also looks to be dressed like a spellcaster, so you're not sure if they're going double spellcasters or... I mean, they are followers of Nethys, it seems, so
That makes sense.
lots of spellcasting.
I will take out my 2 pancakes and tear them in half. Pancakes.
Onuris would take a piece.
Yeah, I'll take a peek.
Are those Rima pancakes?
Yes.
He grabs one immediately and stuffs it in his face.
I'm gonna eat the other piece myself.
Who's Rima?
Oh, she takes care of the temple where I stay.
You stay at a temple.
I do. It's lovely.
The Temple of Bastet.
Onuris would nod. I'm assuming I would know what that is. It's a temple of the old gods.
You can make a knowledge religion if you so wish. Anyone in the party actually may make a knowledge religion pertaining towards the old gods.
Oh, I have ranks in that now.
I get a 20, or Onuris gets a 20.
I have ranks in that and roll 4, so I get an 8. I'm not sure I even know.
I don't know why I'm making this roll.
You're like, I have no idea who this goddess is. I mean, you obviously know who your own god is.
I've been dating this girl, but I have no idea what her religion is.
You know of Bastet as far as that's the deity that the ladies at the temple follow. And also, apparently, they have sacred prostitutes as part of their business. What did Onuris get?
A 20.
A 20? Yes, Bastet is the sly enchantress. She's the chaotic neutral goddess of cats, pleasure, and secrets.
Pretty much describes all cats.
It pretty much describes Sagira.
Yes, and naps. Her domains include animal chaos, charm, protection, trickery, and subdomains of deception, defense, fur.
There's
lust.
a fur subdomain.
It's
Hold up.
baller. You get to go real fast sometimes, and also you get an animal.
Huh.
Yeah. Lust, Protean, and thievery.
Which of these is not like the other?
Protean.
Why Protean? Is that chaos or something like that?
Yeah, it is part of the chaos.
Oh, okay.
Domain.
Okay. I was like,
So-
I
That makes sense.
haven't heard that word in like many a year.
Many a decade.
Her symbol, which I don't think you've actually shown anyone any of your like holy symbols or markings or anything.
I think it's just a cat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a golden cat.
Yeah.
Fancy.
It's on the inside of my arm, so probably not.
Unless you've been like flexing biceps or
Look at these good.
No. I'm not a Flotus. What is his name? Fluff.
Falto.
Falto.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Flotus. Michelle Obama. I am not Michelle Obama. I guess I'm living in the past. Whatever. It's
Yeah.
So you all would gather together, I suppose eat your pancakes before setting off, making your way under the shadowed reach of the archway, making its way into the necropolis itself. Passing underneath the gaze of Pharasma's needle, the large obelisk, reminding everyone that this place is protected by the temple, and passing in to the necropolis as the sounds of the city would fade away behind you, and you would make your way winding off into the necropolis proper. Again, you would have to walk for a good while to make your way back, winding your way through the city streets. Finding some things have changed since last you were here. You can see that a number of doors that were closed when previously you came through now stand open. you're going to guess having been assigned to other explorers. Beyond that, you would also see the occasional worrying sign, just in the fact that every once in a while you pass by and there's day-old blood splattered on stone steps here and there
keep
from
an
the
eye
less
out.
likely.
Keep an eye out.
Very distantly, you'd hear a sound of dog barking.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't seem to be like an alarm so much as just angry dog barks, and then it seems to fade away, as if possibly one of the local dogs or even maybe one of Marin's dogs got loose and is now running through the necropolis somewhere.
Okay.
Far overhead, you would see a falcon turning in slow gears, staring down at all of you as you make your way through the city streets.
Hey, that's a good sign for me.
You're like, hey, I know that falcon.
I know every falcon.
I know every falcon. Eventually, though, you would arrive at the Tomb of Akhentepi as you had left it. I believe you'd close the doors behind you as best you could, although it's difficult
we
to
rolled
with
the
the
big
sand.
like circle stone
Yeah.
in front of the door.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have to push that out of the way again.
A
Yep.
fair number of ants has already arrived to take care of the scorpion that you left on the front steps,
Well, there you go.
carting it away one tiny bit at a time. So I suppose you would all make your way back in. If you take the time to take 20, you can roll it back out of your way.
Okay.
So it would take a couple of minutes.
Looking for
I think you took the
scorpions.
rope with you also.
We
So
did.
you tie off the rope, clamber back down, nod to the skeletal remains down there, who still sits off to one side from his sadly tragic death some 100 years ago.
Ooh.
Where are you headed?
Well, we came to the room where it split in two directions, and down the one way was the false tomb.
We want to go not that direction.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
let's
I
go
guess
the
we're
other
going
way.
the other way that's available.
Let's
So
hope it's
not
also
that
not a false
way.
tomb.
You would make your way down the long trapped hallway, as you've already disabled the traps with all of its assorted needles, past the large room with the tapestry before making your way through the room with the large mirror, descending
Yeah.
back down the steps
yeah,
where you
keep-
fought the
Keep our blinders on.
yeah, descending down these steps where you fought the
Sandling.
The
Sandling.
Yes, the sandling. Before eventually arriving down in the Hall of Souls Crossing, where the tapestry would hang on its frame against the far wall of the chamber, depicting the otherworldly vistas where the souls of the dead, shepherded by strange beings, enter an ethereal river. This is the one that has the large spiraled symbol of Pharasma across the floor.
Oh, that's right.
And you guys had gone right from there, which would have been north, and now you're going to continue to make your way across, which would be west.
'Cause that's the only other way, correct?
That is the only other way to continue going.
Then
You've
that's the way we're
explored every
going.
other door.
To the west.
Alrighty.
Approaching the door,
I will check it for traps.
you'll check it for traps. You may roll a perception or take 10, whichever you prefer.
17.
17.
Wait, I'm checking for traps. So that is a 18.
Pretty sure it's not trapped. You're made a little bit more paranoid as almost every other room you've been to here has been trapped, but
I'm gonna trust you. I guess.
you're not the one that walked up and touched that sarcophagus.
Sagira's gonna open the door. Sort
Sagira,
out.
placing a hand, pulling out your brand new, nice +1 Kopesh,
I would also draw my Kopesh.
pushing open the door. The door would open up into a small chamber, itself only maybe some 10 to 15 feet in overall length, although the wall curves in, so effectively it goes from about, say, 10 to 12 feet wide where you're standing now, to tapering to about 5 feet wide at the far end and reaching a set of steps descending down.
All right.
As you begin to approach the top of the steps, as I assume you would,
Yeah.
the stairs make their way down and forward for a distance of maybe some 15 feet or so as your light washes down and across it before ending abruptly at a rock wall. It looks like this area is only half finished. It's not even really as polished. The stairs still seem to be in a work in progress and haven't been properly leveled. It looks like someone more or less half completed this and then stopped.
Didn't we find information that like there was supposed to be part of a tomb for his mistress and they never finished it or something?
That is correct.
So this might be it.
There are 2 large boulders down there, but I will allow the party to make a perception roll.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to
Everybody?
Everybody.
There's danger. 18 for Sagira.
16 for Sudi.
12.
11 for Onuris.
Let's get some... Oh man, you guys are terrible. Not you guys.
I was gonna say us or the monsters.
I was like, I hope that's
knows?
not us.
But I suppose you'd kind of get to the top of the steps, glance down. On yours, would kind of look down and go, this makes sense. There was a mistress. He planned on eventually maybe even marrying since his family had already died. He would have prepared another tomb. But since he died probably before her, if he hadn't made any further plans, then she would have never received her tomb. So this section would have started to expand and then suddenly stopped. You kind of have a second to bring all of this up to the group before all of you would notice a light source that isn't yours.
What?
Like
emanating
behind
from
us?
down at the bottom of the steps.
Is it a person holding a light?
Both of the boulders that you would see, which would have seemed almost too smooth to begin with, would shift and
They're
turn.
not boulders.
Two antennae would raise up out of this,
Oh, God.
gleaming with light, which would glow and cast a pale, you'd almost say green illuminescence over the surrounding walls, reflecting off of their shining carapaces, as the two massive beetles would begin making their way, skittering up the steps towards all of you.
Are they called like lantern beetles?
You're probably thinking of fire beetles.
I'm actually kind of thinking of those anglerfish.
Oh, yeah. There's viewers at home can't see it, but there's actually a cool picture of them.
Oh, that's
Oh,
horrifying.
man, those are cool.
Well, that's
Nice little green beetles. And we're gonna need initiative from the party as we roll into some combat.
Crapola. I used my nat
That's what
20
I
on
love
initiative.
to hear. Oh, well, no.
It's good.
What? You just.
I just,
Really?
if I'm gonna have a 1 nat 20 in a game situation,
Oh, crap, I just killed it on this initiative roll. Everyone knows that initiatives and natural 20s are a finite resource.
they are.
Cue up some battle music here. All right, let's get some initiatives down from the party. I should probably already just put Sagira up at the top, but
I got a 22.
Sagira gets a 22. So from Sagira with her 22, we cut over to Sudi.
With a 17.
Citra,
18.
one-upping Sudi. On yours.
11.
There we go.
Oh man, we almost had it. The whole party was ready.
I only have a 1 initiative modifier.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
it too.
I have
I
a
just rolled
4.
better than you did.
All right,
Very
and my
dexterous.
beetles. Just gonna put them right in here. So the beetles are apparently horrible at stealth, probably because their heads friggin' glow. And as such, there's no surprise attack around Sagira. You have first initiative.
Oh, yeah.
So the party's in the small room. They're standing at the top of the steps. The beetles are down the stairs. Sagira's up taking point, so technically it's a 10-foot ahead for you to reach that first beetle. You may make a knowledge of nature if you have it,
I
by
will
the way.
do that. 8.
8?
You
You think it's a
think-
bug.
It's a bug, guys.
You're not entirely positive on that part either, but you think maybe.
I believe these
This
are
could be a bug.
beetles. I don't really want to get in there by myself necessarily. But, oh well. I will. I'm going to move forward to engage the first beetle. And then I'm going to slash at the beetle with my Kopesh. I will get a 21.
21 will definitely hit the beetle as you charge down, hefting your magical blade.
Yeah. I will do 11 points of damage.
It would explode under the impact of your blade as you
Ow.
would send carapace and bits flying in every which
Killing
direction.
bugs. I'm an exterminator.
It continues glowing.
That might be useful. Do we have a use for this glowing goo?
You stop in the middle of combat, you're just shaking the gore off. It's like, hey guys, look what I found.
It
Find a light
glows.
source.
Apparently they're having a rave down here. Citra.
I'm debating whether I even want to get in your way.
Do you have a ranged weapon?
I mean, I don't think so. Can you
Yeah.
throw the kukri?
It's not balanced for throwing, but I will point out since they have not gone yet still,
I do
you
get
would
my
still get your
salad
sneak attack.
All right. Well, I'll flippy floppy over there.
There you go. Citra goes charging
I'm sure I
forward.
do like some sort of like jump off the wall to get
You do like some
over
Prince
or
of
something.
Persia like maneuver.
I'm way cooler than Prince of Persia.
Gritting your teeth as there's the crunch crunch sound of bug underneath your feet as you clamber over the now deceased bug.
All right. Let's see if I can get it.
Attack his wife.
Leave
The poor
their
bugs are
larvae
just
as
trying to
orphans.
start a little family.
Why you gotta make us feel bad about killing bugs?
No reason.
14.
A 14. 14's gonna not hit.
Yeah.
Ah!
Glancing off its hardened
And now
carapace.
you're going to take the beetle attack.
Yep. Sudi.
Sudi's
Well,
like,
it's looking a little crowded.
Lasso it, Sudi.
Lasso it.
With all of your rope.
He doesn't have that much on him anymore because we left it
Yeah,
at
I
the
was like, I
entrance,
don't
remember?
have any rope on me because we used it to descend down in the.
Oh no, the source of all your power.
Well, that might explain how this next roll goes. All right, I'm going to pull one of my daggers and I'm going to throw it at this beetle.
Alright, you're gonna have to move to the top of the stairs
Yep.
to throw it, so you can
So,
draw that
move
dagger
up.
as part of your move action.
Yeah, boy.
Now that you have a base attack of 1.
I have a base attack of 2.
He's unchained.
Oh,
remember?
that's right, you are
He's
chained.
an unchained monk.
Yeah.
Glorious. All right.
He's not unroped, but he's unchained.
He is unroped.
He's going to get some cover as you're throwing past two of your allies to toss down there.
Well, it's perfect 20, so...
That is an automatic hit
I'm going
threat.
to do that.
Critical.
Wow.
Not going to confirm it with an 8.
No, that will not work.
I thought it said the same thing.
Another perfect 20, that would have been nice. So, I will throw for 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. You still mess up the beetle as you bury your dagger in one of its eyes. It's fighting through it, though. Didn't need that eye, I was just slowing it down. That brings us to the beetle.
It's about to kick.
So, Mr. Beetle,
It's about to kill you,
He
really.
said kick me.
that's going to bite you
No.
with its giant mandibles. That's a natural one. No.
I feel really
No.
bad for this beetle.
The
It's
Beatles
just
were
not
just
Beatles
trying to make
Day.
a life.
Yeah, she's just trying to make a life down here. You
Daddy
murder her
boy.
husband, Onuris.
Why you make a lie?
Onuris is gonna step up behind Sudi and be like, well, I got nothing.
And the conga line is complete.
All right, everyone, we're in lightning bolt formation
Now
now.
it unleashes a lightning bolt.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a lightning
It's a
bug.
lightning beetle.
It's a lightning bug, yes.
Just a tomb full of shocker lizards.
Oh, jeez.
So are you doing anything on your turn?
No,
Just
I
5
don't.
foot stepping?
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep an eye behind us just in
Do
case.
you want to ready an action
cheering
to swing
from
if
the
something
background.
closes on you?
Sure, let's do that.
It's like rah rah, kill the beetle.
Don't worry, guys, I've got her back. And you just turn and staring around. This obviously isn't the real encounter, Sagira.
Well,
I don't know if you want to delay and see if that rogue's going to get out of your way or.
I'm gonna let the rogue stab it again.
All right, so Sagira goes into delaying, bringing us to Sitra.
No. I'm gonna get out of the way.
You're going to acrobatics back up the stairs.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you're going to need to roll an acrobatics check or take an attack of opportunity. You're going to take a -2 penalty on your acrobatics check because of the stairs.
22.
22. Very well, yeah.
You sleeped your way.
You basically just kind of stab forward, and then, as it recoils back from it, you take advantage of its one blind side now and kind of spring back and out of the way.
I'm gonna re-enter.
Slipping probably on the stairs as they're covered in bug gunk.
I'm gonna re-enter, and I'm going to take a 5-foot step forward, and I'm gonna 2-weapon attack it if necessary. I don't know.
If necessary.
I'm gonna hit it with my Kopesh first, so we'll see.
Going in with Kopesh.
Okay. That'll be an 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
7 damage.
That would cause it to explode into chunks as you marvel at your insect bane, Kopesh.
Yes.
No, it's just easy to kill.
Oh, did somebody take Knowledge Arcana so we can know things about
Oh.
Arcana?
This is knowledge nature if anyone else has it.
Oh.
No.
I don't care about the bug. I was talking about the shield.
We figured those out.
Yeah, we figured them out last time.
We paid somebody to identify the shield, and then your friend had already told you what that one was.
I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't lying to me.
If anyone wants to spellcraft the sword, they feasibly can.
I failed, remember? I just knew it was magic.
But we're 2nd level now.
Oh yeah, we did level up after that. That's better. Where's my spellcraft? There it is. 21.
Yeah, it's a +1 sword.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that we're like, yeah, I killed it. Okay, somebody make sure this isn't insect bait. It might be.
Because this thing seems really good against bugs.
I need to know.
All right, well, I guess
retrieve my dagger.
I'll hop back down there and continue checking for traps as we mosey along.
We can't.
Well, it's a dead end. Unless there's
Oh.
a secret door or anything down
I mean, you
there.
can check for that. I need experience.
You do garner experience for defeating 2 challenge ratings of 1/2, netting the party 50 experience points each, 100 experience points total. You can loot their bodies if you so wish.
From
Is it
what?
carrying gold or random things like in Diablo?
Are their eyes actually light sources?
It's not their eyes, actually. They have glowing glands that protrude off of the top of their heads. They're still glowing.
Somebody might use those. I'll collect them.
It's a 10-foot radius bright illumination.
We can throw them at
Yeah,
someone.
it's
We'll
like
just
those little
carry it like a
buggies that
torch.
were in
They'll be all
Pitch
floppy.
Black.
Can I appraise them or something?
Yeah, you can make an appraise check if you so wish.
I'm going to get a 20 on that appraise check.
With a 20, you're going to guess you probably aren't going to be able to sell these for much of anything, as you can only imagine that the light's going to steadily fade out of them. You wonder, honestly, if you could have sold the beetles.
Ah!
Well, we haven't left yet.
Well, they
They're
would have had to
dead.
be
Oh,
level
they're
5.
dead now. They're not much use dead.
It's dead, Jim.
Well, I mean, you can save the carcass.
No, when they're alive, they glow, and people could probably milk them.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I got
What?
you now.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
You
like
was-
milk
if
a
it's a
snake
gland.
for venom, you milk a spider for venom. It's not weird. Learn some nature.
It was less like milk them and everything, and more like you could have guard beetles that provide natural illumination.
I was gonna say, I was just, you said that, and I was just like, but
We can't train a beetle. They don't have intelligence.
I also don't think they produce milk.
It's the glowing stuff.
Glowing stuff.
Okay.
It's a gland. It
It's
would
not
reap.
weird.
Snakes don't produce milk either, but you do milk a snake.
Yes, you do. And you, like, milk a spider for its venom, if it has it.
Okay.
Note, not poison.
Yeah, they knock them out and then they give them little electric shocks and it squeezes it out of them.
Mm-hmm. With snakes, you just hold their face like this.
I feel a little bad for the spider now.
The more,
Anyway,
I
the
do
more-
not feel bad for the spider.
They actually say that they don't feel anything. They numb them up and everything.
They give them the good stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Novocaine for the spider.
Tiny little Novocaine gas mask. Just like,
Jeez.
breathe in.
You just push the gas mask over the
Come on,
spider,
not,
like
not
traps
all
it. Like,
spiders are bad. Come on, haven't y'all seen
Spiders
that
are
video?
wonderful. They
That video
Haven't
is
you seen Charlotte's Web?
terrifying.
Love that
they're
video.
creepy, but they do good things.
Lucas the spider
Lucas
is terrifying.
Oh my god.
Terrifying.
He's
He's like,
this video 'cause I haven't seen this.
yes, he's going around the sink.
That's weird.
So, yeah.
All right.
They gave a tarantula little googly eyes. It's terrifying.
It's adorable.
So this is a dead end, says Sagira to her compatriots in this tomb.
I'm going to give it another once over with a 23.
Are you searching for traps, secret doors?
Secret door.
Secret doors. Very
It
well.
was under this beetle the whole time.
Figure she's nudging it out of the way with her foot.
So I suppose you check kind of down towards the bottom of this, realize that this isn't even a collapse. They were actually like excavating into the bedrock down here and just stopped. You kind of circle back around to the upper landing and check around until you reach the northern wall of the passage, which is actually finished. Tracing your finger along the edge here, though, you do see the vague outline of a secret door. It seems to be specifically designed not to be opened from this side. It has no accessible hinges or lock mechanism, nothing you really do other than possibly just batter it down from here. But it does mean that there has to be something on the other side of it, accessible from another direction that has a door.
Do you point this out to us?
Yes, of course. I found a secret door.
Do I know anything about tombs or anything? Can you roll about tombs?
If you have knowledge engineering.
No.
No.
I, as a player, have a theory.
Actually, no, I
but-
lied. I totally have ranks in that.
I know
Honestly,
nothing.
I'm pretty sure we
Wait.
divided all these out.
No, I do know nothing. I get a 3.
Okay.
Good job, John.
So,
They turn a building.
so yeah, Sudi goes, it's like, I know nothing about this. Oh, wait! No, I know nothing about this.
Pretty much.
But I think I know what it is as a player.
Doesn't
That's metagaming. We don't do that on this
Should
channel.
we shove it open?
Crowbar?
I
Can-
have one of those.
Can we get it open?
Yeah. Honestly, the only other... feasibly, you could attempt to
Well,
break it open.
Is it
Let's
trapped?
think about the layout of the building. Is there any way we could maneuver around to the other side based on what we know of the layout?
Are there any doors we haven't opened?
The only other direction you've seen going north recently that's been in this side, and as far down as you are right now, would be the sarcophagus chamber.
But we searched that.
You didn't
Didn't
search anything for secret
No,
doors.
we
Do we
got out
also-
of there as soon as we
We
got
could
done.
try searching the sarcophagus room again.
I don't want to go back there if we can avoid it.
Okay. We're going back. We could
The
just
site of my almost death.
battering ram this, maybe.
I think we need something stronger than a battering ram to get through this. Looks like stone. It
Wow.
is stone, right?
I mean,
Let's
potentially you
go
could
to
attempt to
Apparently
break
on my 3 check of engineering, I don't even know if it's stone.
Can I make like a knowledge with my like
Marshmallows.
profession curator because I know about ancient stuff like this? Because I have a theory, but I don't know if it's like metagaming.
You're a curator. You've never been in tombs.
Because I have a personal theory, but I don't know if it's metagaming because I don't know if my character would know this. A lot of times they built stuff like this on purpose. The workers left, sealed it with no way for us to get back in intentionally. They did that all the time in like actual ancient Egypt.
Yeah, if you didn't want someone to go to your crypt, you'd probably
Yeah,
seal it.
they dropped all those stone blocks, and that's why they had to break. That's why the entrance to the Great Pyramid is called the Robber's Entrance, because they've never actually been able to open the real way because of like the 5-ton granite slabs that are blocking the real entrance. So theoretically, there might not be another way for us to get through here. It might literally have been sealed, but I don't know if there's any way Onuris would know that that's what they used to do.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
So-
0% chance. of
Sagira
it.
Yeah.
is still team. I'm gonna open this door somehow.
So we can go check the other room, but
I
I,
guess we'll
as
go
a
back to the
player,
other room.
don't
I'm
think
just
that there's going to be
shove
another
my
way.
crowbar in the door and see if I can make it open.
Very well. Are you going to make strength checks? Do you want to take the time to take 20?
I will take the time to take 20 and get a 24.
24. You actually get a +2 bonus to this because you're crowbar.
26.
26. Very well. You basically shoved the crowbar in. Pry, I suppose all of you would... Sudi, I imagine, would probably just pace back and forth and hope that he doesn't have to go back through the waterlogged death trap room.
Yes, and keep his large ears on the swivel.
Onuris, I imagine, saying some prayers and everything of,
Yeah.
hey, no disrespect, guy. We just have to break open your wall. After about 4 minutes of prying and shoving and at one point planting both of your feet on the wall and trying to wrench this thing free, it is not designed to open.
I'm just imagining a nice montage of all the different ways you try to get this open.
All right, guys. I don't think
Feasibly, you
it's
could
gonna
start
open.
like beating your weapon up against this wall, but you have no idea how long that's going to take, and this sword's brand new.
I caress my co-pad.
Okay,
Is that your
precious.
precious?
Yes.
Maybe not.
So I suppose we'll go and search the sarcophagus room.
Unless anyone has a battering ram.
No.
I don't think
I don't usually pack those.
Well, then, yes.
Unless anyone can turn this ancient relic into a battering ram. Quick, let's go get the chariot and beat down this wall.
The wooden chariot that would shatter against the stone, sure.
All right, back to the death room.
All right, back into the death chamber.
Carefully.
Very.
Is it still watery?
Getting in there, it is not watery, it is still damp, and there is that smell of damp sand which permeates the entirety of this room.
Has anything reset?
Not that you can immediately tell, but you're not still entirely positive what you triggered in the first place.
We avoid the platform.
The room is dark.
I have a light on me.
You bring in the light, which casts long shadows from the large statues of Anubis, which seem to stare down at all of you. You're going to hope impassively, but it seems judgmentally.
Oh.
Yeah, he should
Okay.
be judging us. We're not really...
Sagira's gonna wander around the walls
Yeah.
in the area that might lead the northy.
The water that did flood into this chamber does seem to have destroyed some of the pigment along the lower portion of the walls. You could still feasibly make out the hieroglyphs down there since they are carved into the walls, but some of the pigment that was left over seems to have been washed away by the water that came in.
I'm gonna search for secret doors.
Same here.
Cool.
3.
So I guess perception checks, what is Onuris doing? Are you searching also?
Yeah, my perception's not great.
Sagira gets a 9.
Sudi gets a 26.
Good, because I got an 11.
Okay, well, I don't feel so bad about Onuris' 14 anymore.
Sudi. Sudi's just like, I want out of here. Where's the door?
My keen senses that are telling me to run are showing me where the secret door is.
So are you guys just going like splitting off at the door and going, one group's going clockwise, the other's counterclockwise, or all of you like just searching in a line behind one another as you go around, or...
I don't know if we're that organized.
Well, I think we've got an idea of what
Yeah, the direction it should
would
be.
have to be to lead into this supposed...
You believe that it
secret
should
room.
have to be on the western wall?
Yeah, so I
Yes,
imagine we all
okay.
start on the western wall.
And then just kind of make our way around.
Yeah.
Very well. So making your way over and basically starting on the left-hand side and going clockwise around the outside of the room, which
How
would
many
take
traps
you
do we trigger?
A million.
only 3.
What?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh no, we should have had the rogue do this.
Roll!
She is doing this.
Well, I wasn't checking for traps, though. I was checking for secret doors.
You do, in fact, though, reach this other side and see just the vague outlines cleverly hidden in with the hieroglyphic lines, effectively the lines that are separating one branch of hieroglyphs from the next.
Sneak.
The vague outline of what actually appear to be 2 doors. Something large enough that you're going to guess that they feasibly could have maybe even carried a sarcophagus deeper this way.
Ooh.
All right.
I think I
I'm
found
gonna-
something. 2
I'm
doors.
going to search
What
for a
did you find?
mechanism.
Oh, also of some interest, with your very high perception roll there, you would notice that the torch holder on the southwestern wall as you begin making your way along seems to be able to rotate, can effectively be pulled straight down. Alerting the rest of the party to this,
Yes, because
Sitra
I have
taking-
enough wisdom not to just grab it and twist.
Sitra taking a look at this is that bypass that you assumed that the trap had. Effectively, you just pulled the torch sconce right next to the door, and it would have bypassed the trap.
Lovely.
But now you know. Feasibly can pull it now.
And
Future
knowing is half the
reference.
battle.
Sagira pulls it.
So the torch sconce doesn't open the secret doors.
Mm-mm.
No, although actually checking these doors, there is a release.
Hey, we...
I'm going to check for traps
Yeah.
first. Better. 20.
No, you're pretty confident in this. This looks good.
Was there a release? How do I open it?
You push on the hieroglyph of Anubis.
Sagira will push on the hieroglyph of Anubis.
Very well. There'd be a grinding sound from inside of the wall, as if some sort of stone bar has retracted. After that, it's a little bit hard to wedge your fingers in there. You're not sure if it was intended to get pops open, but the sand has simply settled in. And now it's pushing through the sand, turned into sandy mud left over from where you triggered this chamber.
Well, I have a crowbar.
You don't have to break out the crowbar. It's just a little bit of elbow grease.
Okay.
Pulling this open. Beyond this opening door, you see a very small chamber.
Oh.
What appears to be a chamber no more than about 10 feet deep, probably about as wide, leading to another set of doors. These, much like the ones you'd seen previously, engraved with the spiral of Pharasma. There are hieroglyphs on this door. It continues the warnings that you saw upstairs about grave robbers and horrible death.
I'm sensing a motif here.
Well, they weren't wrong. That last room almost killed you.
Oh, definitely.
That almost killed many people.
20 to check for traps.
Looking it over, again, your paranoia seems to pay off in that there are no traps. You believe.
I'm gonna open the door. Kukri out. Or Kopesh and whatever. Both of them out.
You're gonna have to put one of them
I'm
aside.
putting my
to push
kukri
the door
away.
open. Yeah.
Don't judge me. I have 3 hands.
Do you?
I don't know.
What feat did you take to get that?
She's really a tiefling. She has that prehensile tail.
Anyway, yes. Kukri away. Hand pushing door. Kopesh in the other hand.
Very well. Shoving open the door, if you so wish.
Pray.
Making your way forward. The hallway would continue directly ahead. Hieroglyphs, these undamaged by the water, would line the surrounding walls here as you would make your way deeper, continuing to extol the virtues of Akhentepi.
Okay.
These would mine their way forward, making their way further past than what you actually think the secret passage would have. You're going to assume it would have led somewhere in this area, but you have no idea. Before reaching a set of steps, descending down, making their way further to the north. At the bottom of these steps, even from the top, they seem to make their way descending down another some odd 20 feet, bringing you very deep beneath the earth at this point. You can feel the weight of stone just kind of crushing down on you from above, as your light would paint down across a set of double doors set at the bottom of these stairs.
I'm gonna check this area for secret doors.
Yes.
Very well.
I would like to join
But
her.
is there anything on the doors at the bottom of the stairs?
The doors at the bottom of the stairs.
I don't see anything.
I don't either.
Yeah, I got a 19. I don't
I
know
got a 10.
if I see
I had
anything.
12.
If there's a secret door up here, you're not seeing it. The doors at the bottom of the stairs still bear the mark of Pharasma.
I would like to check those doors for traps.
Very well. You may make a perception roll for that as well. Checking all the traps.
19.
Yeah, you think it's good.
Okay. Sagira's gonna push those doors open.
Well, let Onuris finish looking. Or were you still...
It's just if it's just the holy symbol of Pharasma, then there's nothing new to read. So
Okay.
You can say a quick prayer to Pharasma if
and
Sudi
Anubis.
so wishes, but
Yeah, offer words to Anubis of the
Cover all
please
your
don't
bases.
smite us.
Cover all your bases.
rotate through your holy symbols and grab the door.
I only pray to Bestet, but then I grab the door.
Okay, Bestet, keep me safe. Also, Anubis, you're pretty cool. For a dog.
Pharasma, I'll see you eventually.
I
Not
didn't
today.
pray to anyone but Bestet, guys.
Opening the door. This room holds several neatly arrayed chests, boxes, and urns. Dusts of centuries covers every surface. The only exit is the one that you came in from.
All right, well,
I will check
Check
each
everything
one
for
of these
traps.
for traps. Oh, that's very good. 26.
Checking over the room, looking about. You don't see any sign of traps as you're checking over the floor and looking around the room. It looks to be clear. There are numerous crates and chests in here.
Alright, let's just start with the closest crate, and you'll check it for traps, and I'll open it.
Okay, checking for traps first.
Checking them over for traps.
27.
27. You don't believe any of these are trapped. In fact, none of them even appear to be locked.
I'm gonna open the first one.
This box contains an assortment of once fine clothing.
But they're all like,
It's now old and ratty.
okay, next one.
Opening the next one, sealed jars of food.
Oh, next one.
Going through, you would find other assorted items of what appear to be seemingly no value. All these look to be things like jars of wine that is now spoiled, food that has gone bad from its ancient, decrepit age. Anyone that wishes to make me a knowledge religion may do so. I'll also allow knowledge local.
I will use local because it's higher. I get an 18.
I get a 5.
I got 13 on local.
I get a 24 on religion.
With your 18 and your 24, both of you just kind of confer. This does make a lot of sense. In keeping with the Osirian cultural belief that his soul would have had access to any items provided here, he could have taken these into the boneyard while he awaited his final judgment, so that he could live in the boneyard in comfort till he was judged by Pharasma.
So basically, you get to like everybody else has just got like nothing, and they're just kind of standing in line. And then there's this one guy who's off to the side who's just
he's on a pagoda provided for by all of his servants,
like drinking wine, having some cheese.
He got to bring his 2 cats with him.
Yes.
I mean, he's just hanging out.
Man, if only that worked, that'd be kind of cool. But like,
I
I don't
guess
think
we
it'd be that
should
long.
check for more secret doors.
Although searching through here, anyone that wishes, though, you do actually find some things in here that are salvageable items of value.
Hey.
Okay.
First off, you find 2 vials, although you have no idea what's in these.
Yep. Nope. Don't have any ideas. So I'm just gonna write down 2 vials.
Somebody detect magic.
Is it magic?
Glancing over the vials, they in fact are magical.
21.
With a 21, there are 2 vials of silver sheen. Cracking them open, they look like liquid silver, a little bit like mercury or unicorn blood.
Cool.
I'll take one.
Oh god. Unicorn blood.
All right, Voldemort.
The rogue and I are each going to take one.
You also find a masterwork longbow.
Masterwork longbow.
Nice.
This also needs to be restrung.
I like my short bow.
What if you had to have combat in the afterlife?
Hey, are you proficient with longbow?
Well, when they put it down here, it would have had a string.
Yep. 10 cold iron arrows, I guess in case some demons attacked
I
you
will
while you're
do that.
waiting to be judged.
I'm taking
Are
this.
rogues proficient with longbows?
No, you're proficient with the short bow, but not the longbow. A golden scarab clasp, anyone that wishes to make an appraise check may.
I will appraise it. I will get a 12.
I get an 18.
With a 12, you're not sure. With an 18, you think it's probably worth about 50 gold.
Okay.
There is an onyx and silver holy symbol of Pharasma.
Too bad no one follows her.
Sudi
Speak
does.
for yourself. I do.
Oh,
Who's your god again?
I was like, that is cool. I'm putting that
that's
on.
right.
Do you not remember the opening scene with him dramatically walking down to the temple and going, well, I guess I'm here now,
With all my rope.
with all your rope?
I guess. Sagira wasn't there when that happened.
You may also make an appraise check on this.
I will. I will get a 17.
I will get a 19. I know exactly how much this is worth.
You guys are thinking this is probably right around 100 gold.
That's fancy.
All right,
a
so
fine
I've got
holy
a
symbol.
bling and holy symbol.
There's a silver hand mirror.
Hmm.
I'm just going to give this one to you. It's worth about 35 gold pieces. Since you managed to identify this one earlier, there's another wax-sealed clay urn of nard worth 75 gold here.
Nice.
I just think of Pinky in the Brain.
Me too.
Narf. Narf.
And other than that, this appears to be a dead end.
Let's search for
Let's
rooms.
search, yeah.
Or doors, not rooms. Well, technically both. With a 14, Sagira probably sees nothing.
17. I doubt I see much either.
With my 26, apparently, man, perception is
On
just
yours
on.
gets an 18.
Very well. So you guys would kind of circle around, check high and low as you begin making your way through the chamber. I suppose some faith being put in the rogue and the catfolk who seem to have the keenest eyes in the party.
I'm so scared from nearly dying yesterday.
My cat senses are tingling. And you're like twice your normal size. Every hair is just standing on end.
You're very fluffy today.
You're doing that weird cat thing where they walk sideways at everything. Giving it the side eye. I'm coming after you.
Thriller? You're thrillering around?
I don't know if that would actually make
Thriller.
Sudi look bigger. Like, the purpose of that. I think Sudi would still look bigger if he was walking straight at
Well, that's why
things.
your hair stands on end. Like humans' hair
Yeah,
stand
I
on
know.
end when
Like
you're
this,
scared.
like arms
It's,
out.
you know,
Yeah.
it's a natural reflex. You do, though, find another secret door. This one on the right side of the room, this one is difficult to see. They're not hieroglyphs, and honestly, it's just made to look like this is just an unadorned. Yes, I'm afraid this door cannot marry you, Sudi. Try though you may.
I think I'm okay with this.
Fair enough. You're going to get married down here in this horrible place full of bugs?
It's so romantic.
At least
There's
they
so many
glow.
We'll have natural lighting.
We still have those weird glowy sack things if we really want them.
Yep. You just kind of crush them like fireflies and just spread the stuff over your ears. Anyway, yeah, there does appear to be a door about 10 foot wide.
I will check it for traps. With a 15.
15? No, looks fine.
Does anybody know if finding more secret doors means we're getting closer to the actual tomb?
You
I
would
believe it
think
does.
Here's
it would
hoping.
be
It seems like
more
there's
well
a lot.
hidden.
We got another warning that we would die if we did this. And then we found his items for, like, hanging out in the boneyard. And so next, hopefully, is his mounds of riches.
Okay.
There's a pressure plate release set off towards one side that you'd be able to locate that should open this. I suppose once you get the all clear from Sitra.
I'll go put a foot on it.
Very well. Placing it on, you would hear a grinding sound from inside of the door again. So you're going to guess that, once again, the release from it. The air would also fill with a strange sizzling sound.
Oh,
Ah!
Why did you
After a
touch
second,
that?
there'd be a small red flash and a tiny cockroach would sit in the middle of the floor.
Is that me?
After a second, and a third, and then 10,
Oh,
then
it's not
20,
me,
then
okay.
30 would come popping out
I
as a
think we need
hissing
to
swarm
run.
of cockroaches
Ah.
springs into
I think
existence,
we're gonna
looming
fight
over.
the cockroaches.
They would begin to buzz flying up into the air, hissing
Are we
and
sure we don't want to
spitting.
just go through the door and then shut it after?
Maybe trapped
Run!
inside the tomb.
All of you may make me a knowledge nature if you so wish,
I
as
have
well
that.
as
Oh boy.
Oh god, my knowledge nature is a 5.
My initiative is not
My
good.
initiative is on point.
you're
though.
even less certain that this one's a bug than the
I
last
don't know
one.
what that thing is, but I'm ready to kill it. That's where I'm at with my 2 rolls. A 1 and a 19. Those are my 2 dice rolls.
Any of you can tell that this is some sort of cockroach.
Horrifying.
But
Oh my Jesus.
Give us-
We're
in this
gonna-
case, a swarm of
man, you know
cockroaches.
what'd be great?
Oh boy.
Just some sort of like fireball.
Yeah, nuke it from orbit.
You know what would be
situation.
great? Meteor swarm.
Yeah.
Why don't we get meteor swarm
I
at
rolled
second
really
level?
bad initiative, guys. Really
Just sitting here
bad.
with my
me too.
slashing weapons going, dang it.
I don't have any area effect spells yet.
And roll for initiative from the party, and we will pick it up here next week.